Today's video comes from my Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 7.0. I didn't bring my camera with me today, so this is what I'm going to have to deal with if I'm going to have to record videos, which it doesn't really hurt. It's just the fact that I have to carry on this big 7-inch tablet with me if I want to make video. Plus, the color is not as rich as on the Nikon camera, but, you know, what the hell, right? It's a camera. Deal with it. Anyway, so here's my laptop, which I'm going to be making a video about today. This is my daily use computer that I use for odds and ends and things like that. This is powered by a 3rd generation Intel Core i7 3612QM at 2.1 gigahertz. You can look up the specifications on Intel's ARC system and get the full specifications. I'm not going to obviously tell them on this video. This device, not this, the laptop, has 8 gigs of RAM, DDR3 1600, not 1866. It is 1600, which is plenty fast for me. And it has a 1 terabyte hard drive, and the battery's got a charge in it, thankfully. And you guessed it, this is a Windows 8 laptop. I never did show the unboxing video of this when I got it back in July. But yeah, I should have, because that would have been actually, whoops, let me get the pen all the way. There we go. But yeah, pretty much that's what it is. This has a 17.3-inch display. Don't comment about that picture in the tile. But it's a 17.3-inch LED backlit display running at 1600 by 900 resolution. It's around a 90 ppi, but it's not that bad. The colors are great. It only has Intel HD Graphics 4000, but that's plenty power enough for me because I don't do a whole heck of a lot of gaming, and whatever gaming I do, I always prefer it at 30 frames a second, so 60 frames a second if it's possible, and it runs fine. That's fine with me. As you can see, Windows 8.1 has a bit of a problem on this laptop, and you might have noticed it already. It's fucking slow. Yes, the hard drive on this thing is pretty much bad. I got a faulty hard drive with my laptop when I got it, so it has some issues with it, and so it doesn't load correctly, and it's slower than shit. What do you expect? Lenovo makes pieces of crap sometimes. Anyway, I digress. So the base of this machine is a brushed aluminum in brown, but most of the time it looks black, but it is a brown color. You can kind of tell by the touchpad there. The keyboard is Lenovo's AccuType keyboard, which they switched to in both their consumer notebooks and the ThinkPads. I really wanted to get a ThinkPad, but this was the best value for the buck, because honestly, these machines in a 3rd generation i7 in a ThinkPad variant would have cost me about $1,500, and I did not have $1,500 at the time to buy a laptop with. I only had about $750, so I had to deal with this one, which was on sale at the time. Performance-wise, if the Windows Experience Index was on Windows 8.1, the system would have gotten a 5.9 out of 9.9, mainly due to the graphics, because of the fact that it is Intel HD Graphics 4000. But if I did have the optional NVIDIA chipset, which would have had 2 gigs of video memory instead of this one's 1.75 gigabytes, the graphics would have rated higher, but it still would have been a 5.9 due to the mechanical hard drive that this has. So, rounding out the ports, we're going to hopefully get enough light here, because in 480p this thing has no light at all, so I'll name them out for you. Over here we get the Kensington security lock, to make sure that you're the only one who opens up this computer if you were to open it up at all. I don't know why. Huge cooling vents, a VGA port, a gigabit LAN port. Yes, this does have gigabit LAN. An HDMI 1.4 port, 2 USB 3.0s, and a USB 2.0. There's the microphone right there. This has an SD card reader on the front, which I still have the dummy card for, just to keep it clean. That's the headphone jack, that's the microphone jack, which connect to the Dolby Advanced Audio version 2. This does not have the upgraded Blu-ray ROM DVD-RW drive. This only has the standard DVD-RW drive, which is plenty enough for me. I mean, it would have been nice to play Blu-rays on this computer, but that was an option that I could not afford at the time, once again, due to the limited budget. Another USB 2.0 port, which is not a powered one, unfortunately, and your 20-volt DC input. On the back is a 6-cell battery. It's not a very good battery, I'll say this now. the battery life averages from about 2 hours to 5 hours. So it's not a very good battery, to be honest with you. It's a good starter battery, but I recommend you get a 9-cell with this ASAP because that'll certainly increase your battery life. I really wish these things came with a 9-cell from the factory, but obviously manufacturing and the costs. So rounding out everything, there is Wi-Fi, ABGN, Bluetooth 4.0, and a 720p webcam. Like I said, the microphone is right there. A multi-touch trackpad, and also has a built-in recovery partition on the hard drive, which is a very nice thing. So you can use the one-key recovery software, which the button ended up breaking. I don't know why, but the button broke. Commonality of breaking everything when you upgrade from Windows 8 to 8.1, obviously. So let's talk about it a little bit of it. From my average performance with this machine, I usually get very fast, fluid performance from Windows 8.1. As you can see, there's absolutely no lag at all, due to the fact that it is a quad-core CPU that this thing uses. The only thing that really holds this thing back, and I'm really disappointed about this, is the hard drive. The hard drive is the weakest point of this computer because it is so slow. It's not recommended. But it was pretty soon, if I get enough I'm going to put in a Western Digital Caviar Black Square dual drive, which will give me a 128 gig SSD and a 1 terabyte hard drive, which would be nice to have because I like the terabyte hard drive, but I also want an SSD to put my programs on, and then I can put my files on the mechanical drive. So it saves me time and money. Plus, it'll make my machine a million times faster, and the Windows 8 stuff would be a lot better. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this computer in terms of Windows apps.
I have the Facebook app, the Adobe Reader app, a lot of other apps. Yes, I have the Minion Rush app. I have Microsoft Office Enterprise 2007 on here. I have Flipboard. I have, of course, the typical Windows 8.1 travel, calendar, news, sports, finance, weather. I have, of course, the store, so you can get your apps. Hill Climb Racing, Radiant Defense, Logos Quiz Plus, Microsoft Mahjong, Health and Fitness, HP Printer Control. What was that one? I don't remember. Never mind. Nightmares from the Deep, the Cursed Heart Gold Edition. That was the Lenovo edition. Backgrounds, Wallpapers HD, Reaper, Food and Drink, the Nook app, Photoshop Express, Royal Revolt, Hulu Plus, Shopping Cart Hero 3, and Netflix. As well as, this is all the Lenovo apps, so you get the AccuWeather, Kindle, Evernote Touch, the Intel App Center, which corrupted itself on an upgrade from 8 to 8.1, Power DVD Mobile, Lenovo Support, Lenovo Companion, Rara Music, Film on Television, Merriam-Webster, Dictionary, maybe even a thesaurus in it too, Encyclopedia Britannica, One Key Recovery, Lenovo Cloud Storage powered by SugarSync, Zinio for the magazine people, and eBay.
Other than that, the other ones that are the reading list and the help and tips. So, not a whole heck of a lot on this computer in terms of desktop apps. I have a Windows Vista game, an old Windows XP and 9X game, other things like that. So yeah, it's pretty much a bit of a sum of what my computer is, which is a 2013 Lenovo G780, once again. I've already scratched that Lenovo chrome-plated metal emblem there, and I've already scratched the brushed aluminum. You can see that scratch mark right there, which I wish this would focus, but this is a fixed focus tablet camera. What do you expect from a $169 tablet, which I got for $160? So I'll try to be careful here and not scratch this up too much. That rubber foot there melted off, if you can see it. Yeah, that rubber foot melted off. There's the inconveniently located Windows 8 sticker, which I don't know why they put it on the bottom of these computers where you're never going to see it. Kind of stupid. Anyway, this takes an input of 20 volts at 3.25 amps. The battery is a 4400 milliamp hour, which is very small. It is a 6-cell again, once again. And this is a product of Slovakia, made in China. What do you expect? Manufactured for Lenovo. This is the model CB030610B0. Oh, I gotta put the camera down here so I can get my computer back up. It is very heavy. It is about a 5-pound laptop. This did have an option for a backlit keyboard, which I did not get. It had an option for a 1920 by 1080 display, which I did not get. And there were some other options that I did not get. This model is not made anymore. It was replaced by the G710 because of the Dolby Advanced Audio version 4 and the 4th generation Intel Core i series processors. So, unfortunately, this is a last generation machine, but in the sense, the last generation machines, at least the 3rd gen i7, is still very powerful and still very capable at gaming, video editing, and other things like that. This thing can even play a 4K video. And as a matter of fact, I'll show it to you right now. Let me go pull up a 4K video. In about 2 minutes in time, that's how much as far as we've gotten. But let's go ahead and play it anyway. So this video is not going to have the full 4K experience because of the fact that it is, let me close the curtains here behind me, because it's only a 1600 by 900 display, but still, it's going to be very excellent in terms of playback. So let's go ahead and play it. Oh, whoops, I forgot to turn it on balance mode. Power saver is not going to do anything worth of anything. Turn on balance mode here and we'll try that again. There we go, that's a lot better. Obviously, power saver wasn't really going to do much of anything. It's not really going to show up well on camera, but it's playing at a very well, well, since the processor really hasn't warmed up yet, I never gave it enough time to warm up. It's playing about 40 frames a second, which is still very good. No, actually, that's the delayed motion of the video, excuse me. So, it's playing at its normal speed, which is a delayed frame rate, but as you can see here, it plays 4K video like a champ. There is no problems with this thing not playing 4K. It is amazing. Oh, it just lost buffer because I ran out of space. But as you can see, this computer can perfectly play 4K video, as it should. And that's pretty much all there is to explain about my laptop, other than the fact that I got it 40% off from its original $1,049 sales price to $649, and then, of course, a $40 tax surcharge, which brought the price up to about $697.68. So, not an exactly cheap computer, but it's a good way to get into the Intel Core i7 range, if you're not an Apple fanboy, of course. Pretty much PC-wise, you can get these machines for pretty darn cheap on eBay. They go about 400 to 600 bucks, depending on the options and the condition of the computer. This one is pretty much the base model, I guess you want to put it that way, because it only has the i7 and the DVD burner drive, the 1600 by 900 display, and the Intel HD Graphics 4000. But even so, it's still a nice high-end computer. Definitely the highest end of its series, which was the G series, which was the essential series of laptops. And the highest end model of that was the G780. And the highest model of that was whatever it was, which was in this nice brown brushed aluminum. Now, before I go, I'll go ahead and say one thing over what I was going to say. Brushed aluminum has its pros and cons over plastic. I did not want a plastic laptop for palm rests anyway, because a plastic laptop, they normally are painted with a paint on the plastic, or they're a colored plastic. And what happens is, over time, if it's a textured plastic, of course, smudges like skin oils, food crumbs, things like that, you know, whatever gets into those little particles, they get in there, and then it's really difficult to get them cleaned out. So your machine physically turns ugly within about a couple of weeks if you don't clean it or if you don't clean it regularly. Whereas with a brushed aluminum machine, it's easy to smudge, but nothing sticks to the metal other than your skin oils. Food crumbs can come right off, and other things can come right off, except for your smudges, of course, but those can easily come off with a glass wipe. Plus, it lasts longer, because metal is not painted. It's stained, but it's not painted. So the paint, if there were any, would have, immediately wore off. So it's not anodized aluminum, it's brushed aluminum. So it is different than Apple and what they do. So it's not an anodized aluminum palm rest, and back it's brushed aluminum. As a matter of fact, this one actually has a little bit of polish on the back of it from the factory. This one doesn't. So anyway, that pretty much sums up this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to make more videos in the future if I can. Thanks for watching.